Okay, so we just did a bunch of ways to add H2O across the double bond. That's what we've been doing, right? Is that obvious to you? We've been doing that to add H2O across the double bond. I'm not drawing the hydrogen on here because it's there, right? So this is what we've been doing. Now we're going to do something different. Now we're going to add H2 across the double bond. And this is cool. We're going to take a double bond and we're going to simply make it a single bond. All right? So can you see that the difference here is that I'm adding two hydrogens? Okay. We're going to do this with a catalyst. All right? And that's about all you need to know for this section. But you do have to know that. We're going to be doing it with a catalyst. And I guess you know what, you do need to know they're going to be going to the same side. So it's going to be syn addition. They're going to be going to the same side. So if the H2 and the catalyst we're going to be using here is platinum, if we're going to be adding this, if it comes to the front, then both of these groups go to the back, right? If on the other hand it goes on the other side, then both of these groups come to the front, right? Does that make sense? It's going to be syn addition. You should build this. If that doesn't make sense, you should stop this video and build it with your model set, and you'll see it. Just a comment about catalysis. It turns out that if we were adding H2 across the double bond, it is exothermic, but this activation energy is so high that it's not practical. But a catalyst is, you know how catalysts work, right? They just bring down the activation energy. So we start out with the same thing without the catalyst as we end up with, right? No, we start out with the same thing both ways, and we end up with the same thing both ways, but it becomes a lot faster if we bring down that activation energy. Now, the catalyst works like this. The hydrogen sort of nests on top of that metal catalyst, and the double bond comes, and this alkene comes down from the top, right? One way or the other comes down from the top. So the metal surface binds the hydrogen, and the two hydrogen atoms are added on the same side of that double bond. All right, syn addition of H2 to a symmetrical alkene will not produce a pair of enantiomers. This is something that you might have been able to just figure out on your own, right? This is just the game you've been playing all along. If it goes to the same side, what's going to happen? So if it's symmetrical, then these two are the same thing, so they're not enantiomers, right? It is a meso compound, and that is there is a plane of symmetry down the center of that molecule, so it is meso. But there's not enantiomers, and it's not racemic, of course. Okay? Recall, please, that a heterogeneous catalyst does not dissolve in a reaction medium. So if you have a metal, like platinum or palladium, then it's not going to dissolve in the reaction medium. It's just going to sort of fall to the bottom. But a homogeneous catalyst does dissolve in the reaction medium, and it uses a ligand to help it dissolve. So Wilkinson's catalyst, right, is I guess that's rhodium. I get these mixed up. I guess that's rhodium with chloride and a phosphorus, triphenylphosphine, I guess. So it's just a big beast, right? So you've got this Wilkinson's catalyst. I wouldn't expect you to have to know the structure of that, but you should recognize it. You should not be afraid of it. Wilkinson's catalyst does the same thing. Okay, it's still syn addition. Okay. And if you add this now across an asymmetrical alkene, you are going to get enantiomers. All right. Now recall that the creation of one or two chiral centers results in a mixture of enantiomers. If you have one chiral center and you put the hydrogens here, right, you're going to get a mixture of enantiomers. And if you have two chiral centers, you're going to get a mixture of enantiomers, unless you have that is if these are asymmetric. That's assuming these are asymmetric. Now, if these two R's are the same thing, this is just going to be a meso compound. All right. Now, if a chiral catalyst is genius, utter genius, this will be difficult for me to test you on it, but this is utter genius. If a chiral catalyst is used, it is possible to synthesize only one enantiomer. Okay. So you've got these are all three the same thing. But if you used a chiral phosphine ligand, right? So if these are not all the three the same thing, use a chiral one, then you can get then you can synthesize only one enantiomer, and that is exactly what William Knowles did in the 1900s, which isn't that long ago for me. In the 1900s, and he synthesized L-DOPA, which is an important, super important drug, and he won the Nobel Prize in 2001 for this. Super clever. And he was shared the Nobel Prize with Dr. Nagori, and I was a little bit scared to say this guy's name, Ryoji, I guess, but I'm not sure I'm saying it right. Showed that he did something with a different compound. It's sort of the same thing though, right? Ruthenium. He used chiral ligand BINAP, and he showed that we got 95% enantiomeric excess, which is pretty good. He also got the Nobel Prize with him in 2001. So in review, what we're going to do now, I think I told you in the beginning, this is basically what this is about. We're going to add hydrogens across a double bond to the same side, usually with a metal catalyst. Okay? Be prepared to appreciate also, though, we could be doing this with Williamson's catalyst. Where's that? We could also be doing this with the Wilkinson's catalyst. All right. Go practice.